I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. For the pack and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking nothing from my boy heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching her, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big, and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a do it, Mr. Knew I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, and the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Right away, here's Garoppolo to throw it. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Still very early in the season, obviously, CD, but already key injuries that they've had to deal with.
And what's really difficult for a team is to try and maintain their focus when they feel like they've been a little bit snake bitten. It feels like every time they turn around, another injury crops up. How do they manage to hang together, get guys to play a little bit above their heads?
Now Garoppolo lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Back to Walker on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner 1st down. To throw is Garoppolo. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And incomplete on the deep ball. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Oh, he faked it. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go. But when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two. Shy of the 30.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
And the 49ers are going to be set up with a first and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now.
Now here comes Ayuk on the jet sweep.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers.
Christian McCaffrey.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the 49ers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense.
And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
But Charles, you take a look at the draft class for this offense. It's highlighted by a first-round pick who provides a much-needed boost to their offensive line.
And you and I both know it's the kind of pick that doesn't often get a fan base really excited. But I know who is excited. Their quarterback. He won't get hit as much, and that should improve the rest of the offense as well.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Flushed out right.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. And the Niners get there and bring him down. These two teams all tied after one. On first down, this is McCaffrey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And right side, they're going to go option here. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find a way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle from 6 yards away.
And the 49ers have taken the lead.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquise Goodwin, 67 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. And now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Chris Olave.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 21-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead now up to 14. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field. And we are ready to rock. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. That's taken on the 25. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 73 yards. And the Seahawks take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Garoppolo now. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Now he's got it. Touchdown. Chris Olave. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Flush to his right. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through half. Time and back at it for the start of quarter 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. Last week they defeated the Broncos, and they've got the lead here as well as they work with a 1st and 10. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 136 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. catch is made by Metcalf. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Play action. Here's Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Straight ahead, Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
From the 27, Garoppolo, and his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. 3rd down here. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Garoppolo. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 15. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Week 2 underway around the NFL, and a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year And then tomorrow night, a treat, a Monday night doubleheader. Tennessee and Buffalo, 7:15 Eastern. And then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later.
On 2nd and 9. Hurts going for Metcalf on the deep ball. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Hurts will throw.
And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A jet sweep. Garoppolo taps it forward. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field.
A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
Though, who find
touchdown Seahawks.
Chris Olave,
53 yards.
And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here's McLeod from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
But first down, Hurts.
And they work
take this well upfield across the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Hurts. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 53 yards. And the Seahawks are on their way to a 2-0 start. But, Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances and the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on a two-point try.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown. DK Metcalf, 75 yards. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
Well, this is something that Pete Carroll should be pretty well familiar with. Remember when he told Jim Harbaugh after losing a ball game and Harbaugh went for 2 late against him, hey, what's your deal? It's the same situation here. Now, I'd kick the extra point, but I am reminded that plenty of coaches feel like it's not their job to worry about the other team. It's their job to worry about their own team. You have to stop us.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. On the move past the 40. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address it.
Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Olave from 21 yards away. And the Seahawks continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. But right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try to play free and natural.
The Niners on third down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Garoppolo's throw complete here to Ayuk. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. ...39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He completes this to Walker. They find some open field here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And 22 more yards there and another 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw, escaping the pressure right. Hurts fumbles it, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Dances by him. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey, and he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Now Garoppolo. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles.